I had exactly 7 seconds of peace that morning before my entire world collapsed. I remember it vividly. The smell of coffee, the distant sound of a lawnmower outside, the way the sunlight hit our kitchen counter. I was scrolling through my phone, still in my boxers, waiting for Emily to wake up. She had come home late from a barbecue last night, muttering something about too many drinks before collapsing into bed, fully clothed. I hadn't questioned it. Maybe I should have. A knock at the door. 3 short, firm taps. I wasn't expecting anyone. When I opened it, I saw my neighbor, Mark, a guy I barely talked to, except for the occasional wave when we took out the trash at the same time. He was holding his phone, his face tight, like he didn't want to be here but had no choice. "You need to see this," he said, shoving the phone into my hand. The video started playing before I even registered what I was looking at. A backyard party. String lights, people laughing, holding drinks. And then Emily. My Emily. She was sitting on some guy's lap. Not just sitting, grinding against him. Her arms wrapped around his neck. Her mouth so close to his ear it was obvious she was whispering something. He laughed, slid his hands under her dress, and she didn't stop him. She leaned in, kissed him, deeply, hungrily. Something inside me snapped so hard I could almost hear it. The video ended, but the damage was done. Mark sighed. "I wasn't sure if I should show you, but man, I'd want to know." I couldn't even speak. My throat felt like it was full of sand. "Sorry, dude," Mark muttered before walking off. I stood there, staring at the dark screen of his phone like it would somehow undo what I just saw. Like if I stood still long enough, time would reverse, and none of this would be real. But it was real. And Emily was still upstairs, sleeping off the night where she had betrayed me in front of a crowd of strangers. I turned on my heel and walked back inside, my blood pounding so loud I could barely think. I wasn't sad. I wasn't even shocked. I was furious. And I wasn't about to let her sleep peacefully after what she had done. Without hesitation, I stormed up the stairs, my hands clenched into fists. I shoved open the bedroom door so hard it slammed against the wall. Emily groaned, turning onto her side. "What the hell?" she muttered, voice groggy. I threw my phone onto the bed. "Get up." She frowned, rubbing her eyes. "Why?" "Watch the damn video." Her face changed the second she saw the thumbnail. A flicker of something. Panic? Guilt? Annoyance? Before she quickly masked it with confusion. She sat up, took my phone with an exaggerated sigh, and pressed play. I watched her closely. No shock, no horror. Just a slow, calculated reaction like she was choosing how to respond. When the video ended, she didn't cry, didn't beg, didn't even look guilty. She just tilted her head. "Where did you get this?" I laughed. Actually laughed. "That's what you care about?" She shrugged. "It's just a video. You're overreacting." Something in me boiled over. You were on another man's lap, kissing him, letting him touch you. How the hell am I overreacting? Emily rolled her eyes, like I was the one being unreasonable. "It was just fun. Harmless. Harmless." I echoed, my voice dangerously low. She got out of bed, stretching like we were having a casual morning chat. "I was drunk. It didn't mean anything. You seemed very sober in that video." She shot me a sharp look. "Oh, so now you're an expert on my drinking habits?" "I'm an expert on what betrayal looks like," I snapped. She sighed dramatically. "You're seriously acting like I murdered someone." "No, Emily. You just murdered our marriage." For the first time, a crack appeared in her mask. Her nostrils flared. "Oh, don't be so dramatic." That was it. That was the moment I realized there was nothing left to salvage. No guilt, no remorse, just defensiveness. She didn't care that she got caught. She only cared that I found out. And if she thought she could get away with this without consequences, she was dead wrong. That I didn't say another word, didn't scream, didn't throw things. I just turned and walked out of the bedroom, because if I stayed a second longer, I didn't trust myself not to do something reckless. Emily didn't chase after me. She didn't apologize. She didn't even call my name. She just let me leave. That told me everything I needed to know. I made it downstairs before my hands started shaking. Not from sadness. Not from heartbreak. From rage. The kind that crawls into your bones and won't let go. She thought she could gaslight me. Thought she could twist this around until I questioned my own sanity. It was just fun. You're overreacting. I saw the way she was grinding on that guy. I saw the way she kissed him. There was no misunderstanding. No excuse. I needed air. Grabbing my car keys, I stormed out of the house, slamming the door behind me. I didn't know where I was going, but I couldn't sit in that house, breathing the same air as her. The second I pulled out of the driveway, my phone rang. Emily. I rejected the call. She called again, and again, and again. Finally, I answered. What? I snapped. Where are you going? Her voice was eerily calm, like she was talking to a child. Does it matter? She sighed like I was the problem. Come home so we can talk about this. I laughed bitterly. Oh, now you want to talk? I don't see why you're making such a big deal out of this, she said. It was just a dance. Stop lying to me. Silence. I clenched the steering wheel. You don't even feel bad, do you? More silence. Then finally a response. You're being ridiculous. I hung up. My heart was pounding as I sped down the road, gripping the wheel like it was the only thing keeping me from losing my mind. She didn't care. Not even a little. I pulled into a parking lot, breathing hard. My mind was spinning, replaying the video, her words, her face when she realized she was caught. And then something clicked. I wasn't going to be the pathetic husband who let his cheating wife walk all over him. She thought she could get away with it. She thought there would be no consequences. She was wrong. I opened my phone and scrolled through my contacts. My heart was hammering so fast I could barely think. But I knew one thing for sure. I wasn't going to let this slide. Not now. Not ever. I stared at my phone, my thumb hovering over a name I never thought I'd have to call. Ryan. My best friend. My real best friend. Not one of those guys you grab a beer with every couple of months, but the kind of friend who would help you bury a body at 3 a.m. without asking questions. And right now, I needed someone like that. I hit call. He picked up on the second ring. Yo, what's up? I took a slow breath. Emily cheated on me. Silence. A long, heavy silence. Then, where are you? Parking lot near the old diner. Stay there. I'm coming. He hung up. No questions. No hesitation. That's why I called him. 15 minutes later, his car screeched into the lot. He barely put it in park before jumping out. Tell me everything, he said. I handed him my phone and played the video. He watched without speaking, his face unreadable. But when it ended, he let out a low, furious whistle. That bitch. Yup. She's not even trying to hide it. Yup. Ryan shook his head. What are you gonna do? I exhaled. I don't know. But I want to make her pay. He smirked. Now that's what I like to hear. I looked at him. You in? Ryan grinned. You even have to ask? I felt a shift inside me. The sadness, the confusion, the disbelief. It all burned away, leaving something cold and sharp in its place. Emily thought she was untouchable. Thought she could do whatever she wanted with zero consequences. She was about to learn just how wrong she was. Ryan leaned against his car, arms crossed, his mind already working faster than mine. He had this way of analyzing things like a chess game, always thinking 3 moves ahead. First things first, he said. You're not sleeping in that house tonight. I nodded. I couldn't even look at Emily right now, let alone share the same roof. I'll crash at a hotel. No, Ryan said immediately. You're crashing at my place. No way I'm letting you sit alone in a shitty motel room, overthinking everything. He was right. If I stayed alone, I'd either spiral or do something reckless. All right, I muttered. But before that, I gritted my teeth. I'm going back. Ryan raised an eyebrow. You sure? I have to. I need to see her face when I tell her I'm done. A slow smirk spread across Ryan's face. Then let's make it memorable. I didn't ask what he meant. I didn't need to. We got in our cars and drove back to my house. My grip tightened on the wheel as we pulled into the driveway. Her car was still there. I wasn't sure what I expected. Tears? Regret? An apology? What I didn't expect was to walk in and find Emily sitting on the couch, casually scrolling through her phone like nothing had happened. Like I hadn't just caught her grinding on another guy in front of half the neighborhood. She looked up, completely unfazed. "Oh, you're back." Ryan let out a quiet laugh behind me. "Damn, dude." I stepped forward, my voice ice cold. "Pack your shit. You're leaving." She blinked. "Excuse me?" "You heard me." She snorted, tossing her phone onto the couch. "You don't get to kick me out of our house just because you're having a little tantrum." Tantrum? I actually laughed. "A tantrum? You cheated on me, and I'm the one throwing a tantrum." She stood up, crossing her arms. "Oh, for God's sake, are we still on this?" Ryan whistled under his breath. "She's bold." Emily glared at him. "Why the hell is he here?" Ryan grinned. "Moral support." I took a step closer, my voice dangerously calm. "Get out, Emily." She rolled her eyes. "No, this is my house too, and I'm not going anywhere." A slow grin spread across Ryan's face. "Oh, that's where you're wrong." I pulled out my phone, opened the security app, turned the screen toward her. She stared at it, confused, until she saw what I was doing. I changed the locks. Her eyes widened. "You?" I cut her off. "You can pack your shit now, or you can do it later when the cops escort you out." For the first time, real panic flickered in her expression. "You wouldn't." Ryan grinned. "Try him." Emily's mouth opened, then closed. She knew she had pushed too far. She thought she had control. She thought she could manipulate me into letting this slide. She was finally realizing just how wrong she was. Emily's face twisted into something ugly. Anger, disbelief, maybe even a little fear. She wasn't used to me standing my ground. She wasn't used to losing. She stepped forward, lowering her voice like she thought she could reason with me. "Let's just talk about this." I laughed. Actually laughed. "Oh, now you want to talk?" Her jaw clenched. "This is ridiculous. You're acting like I murdered someone." I leaned in just enough for her to see the fire in my eyes. "You murdered us." Ryan let out a low whistle. "Damn, bro. That was cold." Emily shot him a murderous glare. "Why is he even here?" Ryan smirked. "Because I enjoy watching karma do its thing." She turned back to me, desperate now. "Look, let's be rational. We built this life together. You don't just throw that away over one mistake." I clenched my jaw. "A mistake?" She nodded quickly. "Yes, a stupid, drunken mistake." I pulled out my phone again. "Want me to replay the video?" Her face went pale. Ryan chuckled. "Yeah, let's do that. I missed a few details." Emily snapped. "You're being insane." I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. "Emily, this isn't up for debate. You can walk out with some dignity, or I'll have you dragged out." She crossed her arms. "I'm not going anywhere." Ryan grinned. "See, that's where you keep messing up. You think you're in control." Emily turned to me, narrowing her eyes. "You really think you can just erase me from this house?" I smiled. "I know I can." She scoffed. "You don't have the guts." I pulled out my phone one last time, and then I hit send. Emily's phone dinged. She frowned, pulling it out of her pocket. As she read the message, her face twisted from annoyance to confusion, then to rage. "What the hell is this?" she hissed. I kept my expression neutral. "Divorce papers." She looked back at the screen like she expected the words to change. "You already filed?" Ryan laughed. "Damn right he did. You really thought you could cheat on him on camera and still get to call the shots." Emily's breathing turned shallow, fast. She finally understood. She wasn't the one in control anymore. I was, and I wasn't done yet. Emily stood there, gripping her phone so tightly I thought she might shatter the screen. Her breathing was ragged, her eyes darting between me and Ryan like she was trying to find some crack in my resolve, some way to manipulate her way out of this. There wasn't one. "You already filed?" she repeated, like she couldn't believe it. I nodded. "Yep." Her face contorted with fury. "So that's it? 8 years together and you just throw me out like I'm nothing?" Ryan snorted. "Lady, you threw yourself out when you decided to play tonsil hockey with another dude at a neighborhood barbecue." She whirled on him. "Shut the hell up, Ryan. No one asked for your damn commentary." Ryan just smirked. "Oh, I'm loving this." I crossed my arms. "You need to start packing." Emily let out a bitter laugh. "And go where?" "Huh?" You think I'm just gonna grab my things and waltz out the door? I tilted my head. That would be ideal. She scoffed, shaking her head. You don't get to ruin my life over a stupid video. I took a step closer. You ruined your own life the second you decided to betray me. Her nostrils flared. It was one time. I stared at her, waiting. She shifted, crossing her arms. It didn't mean anything. Still, I said nothing. She swallowed. I don't even know that guy. That was when I smiled. Because I had been waiting for her to say exactly that. I pulled out my phone again and scrolled to something I had been saving for this very moment. Ryan peered over my shoulder. Oh, this is gonna be good. I turned the screen toward Emily. It was a picture. A screenshot from a private Instagram account that I had found just before coming home. The account belonged to him. The guy from the video. And guess who followed him? Emily. Her face went white. I raised an eyebrow. You don't know him? She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Ryan let out a low whistle. You are so bad at lying. I scrolled down and showed her another screenshot. DMs. From her. To him. Flirty. Suggestive. Dating back 2 months. Emily actually staggered like I had physically struck her. You, she stammered, her voice weak. I kept my expression cool. You want to try lying to my face one more time? Her jaw clenched. She realized she was caught. Exposed. She had nothing left. I leaned in slightly. Pack. Your shit. And for the first time, Emily didn't argue. She turned, marched up the stairs, and slammed the bedroom door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. Ryan grinned. Well, that went well. I exhaled slowly, the weight on my chest finally starting to lift. But I wasn't done yet. Not even close. The sound of drawers slamming upstairs was almost satisfying. Almost. Emily was finally packing. Finally realizing she had lost. But I knew her too well to think she'd go down quietly. No, she'd find a way to twist this, to make herself the victim. That's what people like her do. Ryan leaned against the wall, arms crossed, watching me carefully. You good? I let out a slow breath. Not yet. He smirked. You got more planned? I met his gaze. Oh, I'm just getting started. Ryan grinned. Now that's what I like to hear. Upstairs, the bedroom door flew open, and Emily came stomping down the stairs, dragging 2 suitcases behind her. Her face was a mix of anger and forced composure. She was trying to act like this didn't bother her, like she wasn't losing. She stopped at the bottom step, chin raised. I'll be back for the rest of my things. I shook my head. No, you won't. Her eyes narrowed. Excuse me? I gestured toward the suitcases. That's all you're taking. Everything else? It stays. Her jaw clenched. That's my stuff. I shrugged. Should have thought about that before you decided to disrespect our home. Her hands curled into fists. This is illegal. Ryan chuckled. Actually, no, it's not. You don't own this house. He does. Her mouth opened, then closed. Oh, she forgot that part. Yeah. I was the one who bought this house. My name was the only one on the deed. She had never cared before because she assumed she'd never need to. But now she was realizing she had nothing. She inhaled sharply. Fine. She turned toward the door, yanking her suitcase behind her. I followed, unlocking the door and holding it open like a damn gentleman. Just as she stepped outside, she spun around and looked me dead in the eyes. You'll regret this. I didn't blink. No, I won't. Her lips parted, like she had more to say. But then she saw it, the one last thing I had planned. Sitting in my driveway was her car. Or at least what was left of it. Ryan let out a bark of laughter. Oh man, this is the best part. Emily's eyes widened as she took in the sight. All 4 tires? Gone. Windows, smeared with the same bright red lipstick she had worn last night. Only now it was spelling out one simple word. Cheater. The best part? I hadn't even done it. Nope. That was courtesy of our other neighbor, Jake. The guy whose wife Emily's side piece had also been sleeping with. Yeah. Turns out, Emily's little fling wasn't just a one-time thing. And she wasn't the only one he had been fooling around with. Ryan clapped me on the back. See? Karma works fast. Emily let out a choked, furious scream, spinning back toward me. You, I smiled. You should probably call a ride. Her face burned red. "You're a monster." I leaned against the doorway, arms crossed. "Nah, I'm just finally treating you the way you deserve." And with that, I shut the door in her face. The second the door clicked shut, I let out a breath I didn't even realize I was holding. Emily was gone. For the first time in years, the house felt lighter, like it had been suffocating under the weight of her lies, and now it could finally breathe. Ryan let out a low whistle. "Damn, dude, that was beautiful." I turned to him, finally allowing a small smirk. "Not bad, right?" He grinned. "Not bad? That was legendary. I mean, the car, the lipstick, the fact that Jake of all people took care of it? That's some next-level revenge, man." I shrugged. "Karma handled that part for me." Ryan clapped his hands together. "All right, so what's next? We drinking, celebrating? Or are we ruining her even more?" I raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" Ryan's smirk turned wicked. "I mean, we both know Emily's not the type to go quietly. She's gonna try to spin this, cry to her friends, make you the bad guy." He wasn't wrong. I knew Emily. She wouldn't just accept defeat. She'd rewrite the story to make herself the victim. I exhaled. "Yeah, she's gonna tell everyone I blindsided her." Ryan pulled out his phone. "Which is why you need to get ahead of it." I frowned. "How?" He grinned. "Easy. We tell the truth before she gets a chance to lie." I hesitated. I wasn't the kind of guy who aired dirty laundry. But then I remembered the way she had laughed in my face, the way she had rolled her eyes when I caught her, the way she had only panicked when she realized she was losing. Yeah. She didn't deserve my silence. Ryan must have seen my decision settle in, because he handed me his phone, already recording. "Go on," he urged. "Tell the world." I stared into the camera for a moment, then took a deep breath, and I started talking. I told the whole story. The barbecue, the video, the lies, the absolute lack of remorse. I kept my voice calm, controlled, but I didn't hold back. By the time I was done, my hands weren't even shaking anymore. Ryan grinned, stopping the recording. "Dude, this is gonna go viral." I rolled my eyes. "It's not about that." He smirked. "Maybe not. But Emily's about to find out what happens when you cheat on camera and then try to play the victim." I leaned back against the counter, finally letting myself relax. Emily thought she could get away with it, thought she could manipulate her way out. But now, the whole world was about to see her for who she really was. Ryan wasn't wrong. The video did go viral. At first, I didn't think much of it. I just sent it to a few close friends, the people I knew Emily would try to manipulate first. But within hours, it had spread like wildfire. People were sharing it, commenting, even messaging me. Complete strangers offering their support, telling me their own stories of betrayal. And Emily? Oh, she lost her mind. The first text came within an hour. "Take this down now." I ignored it. Then the calls started. One after another. I let them ring. Finally, she left a voicemail. I put it on speaker so Ryan could hear. Her voice was shaking, half fury, half desperation. "You're humiliating me. Do you even understand what you've done?" Ryan snorted. Yeah. He exposed a cheater. Seems pretty clear to me." I deleted the voicemail. More messages flooded in. "You're making me look like a terrible person. My family saw this. Do you have any idea how embarrassed I am? Everyone is turning against me." I stared at the screen, completely unmoved. She didn't say she was sorry. She didn't say she regretted what she did. She was just mad that people knew. That was all she had ever cared about, her image, her ability to manipulate people into seeing her as the victim. And now she couldn't do that, because the truth was out. Ryan kicked his feet up on my coffee table. "Dude, this is better than reality TV. What's she saying now?" I smirked, scrolling through more of her messages. "Oh, now she's trying to guilt trip me. You're ruining my life. You don't understand what this is doing to me. Please, can we just talk?" I turned off my phone and set it down. "No, Emily, we can't." Because she had ruined herself, and I wasn't about to save her. The fallout hit Emily harder than even I expected. The next morning, I woke up to find my inbox flooded with messages. Not just from her, but from mutual friends, acquaintances, even people I barely talked to. Some were supportive, some were shocked, and some Some were furious. Not at me. Her. Turns out people love exposing a liar. The guy from the video? Yeah, his girlfriend reached out to me. That's right. Emily's random drunk mistake was in a whole relationship himself. And when his girlfriend saw my video, she dumped his ass on the spot. Jake, my neighbor, the one who trashed Emily's car, he told me the guy had been messing around with his wife too. So now that dude was homeless, single, and probably regretting ever coming to that damn barbecue. Poetic justice. But Emily, she wasn't done. She showed up at my house. I heard the knocking first. Sharp, insistent. I ignored it. Then the pounding started. Ryan was still crashing at my place, sitting on the couch with a bowl of cereal. He raised an eyebrow. You gonna answer that? I sighed. Might as well. I swung the door open. Emily stood there, eyes red, hair a mess, looking nothing like the put-together woman she usually pretended to be. For the first time since this whole thing started, she actually looked desperate. Please, she whispered. Just talk to me. I didn't move, didn't blink, just stared. She swallowed. I messed up. I know I messed up. But you've made your point. Everyone hates me. My friends won't even talk to me. My family is ashamed. I said nothing. Tears welled up in her eyes. I don't know what to do. I lost everything. Ryan casually crunched his cereal behind me. Wonder why? Emily shot him a look, then turned back to me. I know I don't deserve another chance. I know that. But please, just tell me how to fix this. That was when I really looked at her. Not the woman I had spent 8 years with. Not the woman I once loved. Just a liar. A manipulator. Someone who was only sorry because she got caught. There was no fixing this. So I did the only thing left to do. I smiled. And then I shut the door in her face. Ryan burst out laughing. Dude, that was cold. I exhaled, feeling the weight on my chest finally disappear. Yeah, I muttered. But it was necessary. Emily banged on the door one more time. I didn't answer, because she wasn't my problem anymore. She never would be again.